The Dita Mecha. Let's talk about it. Now, this is a product sent out to me by Dita. This is a single dynamic driver that costs $900. Yes, $900. So it is an expensive set. So because of that and other reasons, I do want to really say a big thank you to Dita for sending this out. I haven't been very nice to the other Ditas that I've reviewed on channel. And it means a lot to me when channels have the trust, or they have the trust in their own product, to send me out something when I haven't been blasting their stuff before. As a reviewer who tries to give honest numerical feedback to people that's simple and easy to read for many people, it means a lot, because sometimes I think people will just feel like I'm just going to blast them because of whatever. I've always tried to give an honest review, and I appreciate the trust, and I appreciate you guys watching. Let's start by looking at the build quality of this IEM. This shell is titanium. It feels very good. It isolates well in ears. I didn't really like metal shells, but I like this shell. It has a nice nozzle. It it has a little lip where it breathes well. It's vented. It's a flat 2-pin cable connector. It's a very nice shell. It's exceedingly amazing, and it's easy to fit for me in ear. Nice job. Great shell. The churro cable. You can see the nice left and right hooks here. It's a nice cable. It has an interesting texture to it overall. It feels kind of unique, but it feels very durable and well made. Let's see if we can get a shot of the, right here. We have the churro cable. You can see that. I like that name. It's fun. Now they include a 4.4, a 3.5, and a USB-C with this cable. It's actually easy to swap. You just pull it out, and there's a little lip on the top you can line up, if you can see that right here. And then you have to kind of push it together. It takes a little bit of force, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not bad, and it's well made and durable. So that's how you swap this out. It's not too bad to do, and it's a nice cable. I like the stuff it comes with. It has a couple stickers, a few nice little things, like a nice little booklet of their brand, which is great. They have all kinds of products, including some DAC amps, some nice stickers if you want, which is a fun touch. I think more companies should do that. And they have a nice case. I really like it. It's beautiful. It's premium. You can keep stuff in it. It kind of has a soft, spongy interior, which is nice. Here you can see the USB-C and the 4.4, and overall the case and accessories are really nice. I love these stickers. I think it's a simple, fun thing that people can do to include with their IEMs. These ear tips are cool. They glow in the dark. I like these ear tips, but nothing too exciting. Let's talk about the sound of this IEM. This is a strong V, a big V. It's not L-shaped or neutral-ish or JM1. This is a big, explosive IEM that's more fun than anything. I like this set, but for people that are sensitive to upper mids, this is going to be the big thing. Some songs and sounds feel too energetic. The bass is really clean and enjoyable, and it hits my mark right where I want it to be. It's not overpowering, but it's nice, it's rich, it's organic, and I dig it a lot. There is a little bit of a late rise. There's a few other minor things we could talk about as we get into it, but I find this a cohesive and extremely nice set. It has a rich, fun, engaging sound, and it's an absolute fantastic set that does a lot right for me and for my library and what I like to listen to. There's like a need I feel that we all kind of have, or many of us have, for a bass, and if you're looking for a bassy dynamic driver, this does that really well. The air in this set is nice, but not overly impressive. It's clean, inoffensive. The slam and impact is great, and it feels my need for bass, and it's just extremely satisfying. The upper mids, again, are kind of the problem. They might come across as overly exciting or exaggerated, and some things might sound off or even shouty. Yet overall, I find this a cohesive, enjoyable IEM that is on my borderline of what I can tolerate, but extremely fun. this is not going to come across as the most neutral or base set, especially at the price, but I do still feel this is a unique value and something that I personally really enjoy. Let's look at some graphs and rank this guy up. All right, let's look at some graphs. This is the Dita Mecha, how it kind of measures on my rig. You notice when we have it normalized where it currently is, it looks pretty good. What we're going to do is normalize this at 500. You'll notice a few things when this happens. One, the bass rises to a really nice level. I really like bass right around this level, although it is, again, a little bit, I prefer it maybe around 220, 250, 200, kind of right around here. But this is a nice level of bass. They've done a great job with the bass, and it's one of the best parts of this. But what you'll notice is that this region right here is a little bit pulled up. Now, I did order some filters for this, and someday when I get a chance, I'm going to go ahead and, when those filters arrive, I'm going to go ahead and try to mess around with this and maybe pull this down a little bit. But overall, I still think this is a pretty nice graph. We're going to show this to a few other graphs and kind of talk why this is a nice graph and kind of where it's going on. But again, really good bass, perfect bass. I mean, for me, upper mids, I probably would dial this all back just a little bit. And I'll kind of show you what I mean. Like, to me, this is almost perfect compared to some other IEMs. And I really enjoy this set quite a bit. The first one I want to show is the Dita Mecha, is the Dita Project M. Now, I got to review the Project M. One of my friends sent it to me and asked me kind of what I thought, and I have to admit there are some tracks that sound good, but overall the presentation for me on the Project M is just overly too bright. Now, if we could create like the jaytissofficial, like what I would do is I would keep the bass of the Mecha, trash all the upper mids right here, like basically use the Project M upper mids, and then use the Mecha's upper air. Upper air to me would be just right. Now, obviously, I don't know as much about sound as a lot of the designers, but that's kind of what my personal take would be, and IEMs that I've personally found. Like, there's still reasons to like the Project M. The Project M still has this immense amount of mid, treble, or air region that's just really dialed up, and it gives a kind of a cool effect that I know a lot of people like, but it wasn't for me. Another one was the Dita XLS. Now, I mean, it just felt like a really flat IEM with a lot of kind of mid-treble detail, which is something, if you notice my curve, it's something that I'm really sensitive to. And if you ever like mess around with a lot of IEMs on my curve, it's done because of my rig. That's kind of how the Jaytis target originated, is because I like to see how things measure on my rig. And, I'd like a dip right there, whereas the Mecha has a really nice dip in that 5 to 6K. And this is the region here that I am really sensitive to. The upper shout region, like, I can see how people don't like it. To me, it's almost like an exaggerated ethereal effect, which sometimes I like and sometimes I don't, but it's something to kind of think about. Something that this reminded me a little bit of is the blue. Now, the Elysian Acoustics Lag Diva Blue. Now, what I like about the Mecha is that kind of fits the middle. Like, if you look at the other versions, like if you look at the white's too low. If you look at the red is insanely low. And so, like, the part of the problem with the Diva is it doesn't quite hit my bass target right where I want. It's either way too much, almost right, or just way under. And so for me, like, the Mecha hits that perfectly, and that's a really hard thing, and so it's a really satisfying IEM to hit. And you'll notice it's kind of fun. Like, there's kind of this little tiny bump here and a little bit of a bump here. And I kind of wanted to point that out, why I think that's kind of interesting. I think that kind of helps add soundstage. And also sometimes when you have a lot of bass, having a little bit more of a lift in the upper mids can kind of add some extra character to the sound, I think. And it's, everyone has different tastes, but it's kind of something I found to be an effective tune, at least for my library and what I like. Another dynamic driver right around this price, the Soft Ears Twilight. I got to borrow a Soft Ears Twilight again the other day after I reviewed it, and man, that thing is special. It's a special set. I love it. It's one of those sets that, It's hard to dethrone. It's so neutral, but it's also a little bit bass light, but it also just hits the mids really, really well. And again, the Mecha is a little bit more V-shaped. You'll notice just a lot more energy throughout here. It's just something to note. They're completely different sound signatures. And again, if you're a neutral head, you know, someone who really wants something neutral and plain, the Twilight's going to probably hit it for you. If you really want some bass and you want to try something that's a little bit different and unique, but still a great IEM, the Mecha would be my recommendation for people like that. Now, there's other sets out there, you know, like the Deuce. I think the Deuce is a really nice set, and I want to show this to you. What's interesting is, like, you know, if you look at my Target, they both look like a ton of treble through here. But what you'll notice is that I think there's something to be said about when you have a lot of bass, you need a little bit more treble to kind of help lift that bass. And I think that's interesting. That's kind of what I want to show with the Deuce. I think the Deuce is a nice set, but for me, it just was a little bit too over-exaggeratedly boomy, but you might like that, and that could be a great sound signature for you. As the bass on the Mecha is a little bit more kind of warm, but has a little bit less sub-bass, which for me is nice. Now, if we look at something like the Binary Dyna Quattro, you'll notice there's a lot of similarities with the Binary Dyna Quattro. The Dyna Quattro has a lot less treble, but you'll also notice that it does have kind of an exaggerated spike here. So for those that are looking for strong Vs, the Mecha does some different things, you know, with this kind of little cat ear style. Like let's look at something like the 64 Audio U4S. And so if you look at the U4S, you notice it kind of has what I call like kitty cat style upper mids, where it just kind of hits these 2 points and then kind of drops off. Now, these are completely different, but there's a little bit of a peak kind of around that 2K and a little bit of a peak around that 4K to kind of give it that spacious effect. We'll look at the Estrella next. And the Estrella also kind of does that. So, I mean, if you're a fan of the Estrella, you know, the Mecha's different. It has a little bit less bass, but basically similar styles with some many things, you know. The Estrella has a little bit of kind of jacked up upper extension. I think it's still pretty tactful, but I mean, you know, the Mecha, its upper air is pretty much, in my opinion, it's better, but it's also like a little bit more tame and relaxed, and so it's not overly exaggerating. Like, really the only problem the Mecha has is, like, from my opinion, just kind of like this little bit too much exaggerated region there. But again, for me, that's not really a problem, and I still think the Mecha is a really great set, even without EQ and filters. It's a lot of fun. All right, the Dita Mecha. It's my favorite Dita by far. Is it the best IEM under, you know, 1,000? I mean, it's hard calling something the best. I feel like I'd be just trying to talk about people. What it does do well, it has really good bass. It has good mids and highs. You know, kind of depending on your preference, I could see that maybe altering for you. Like, if you can tolerate the highs and you're a fan of, like, say, the Estrella, you might really like the Mecha, and for you, that might be a higher rating, and even the highs. I mean, the highs are actually pretty good. It's one of those things I'm even debating right now whether to move it up to a 9, but they're actually pretty nicely and well done, but they are a little bit tame, and that's kind of maybe a more of a preference thing, more of a jaytiss thing, where I like my highs just a little bit exaggerated. Its imaging can be a little bit off because of the upper mids, but its note weight and its soundstage and the feeling of the music around you is really good for the Mecha, and it's a nice coloration of sound, and I fully enjoy it. And the Dita Mecha, a solid, bassy, fun, engaging set that gets a recommendation. Packaging's nice, the cable's a lot of fun, and it's a fun, engaging set, and my favorite set from Dita to note. No, this set does a lot of things really well, and I hope to see more shells like this. The sound and the bass of this IEM is a really satisfying experience, and it's a really good experience for a lot of people's libraries. I think people are going to like it, as I think this is a special set, and I encourage you to give it a go at CanJam if you ever have a chance, or buy one if you have the means. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments below. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris, or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here. Go.
Go!
Go.
Go on with you!